anything of that sort. So that's what I have Hosh for. All right, guys. Thanks for hopping in this morning. I have a lot of stuff I want to share today. And some of the things I wanted to talk about were kind of things that I've talked about in the past, like if you've been with us for a while. But I also was like, you know what, sometimes we need a refresher. And even I do, like, for example, I'd love to know in the comments how like the batch content calendar is working out for you if you're using it. I know I'm using it and I feel like it helps me be a lot more consistent because even I just get caught up or I do a live and I just forget. So I honestly love that. And I want to continue to make those and continue to give them to the team as much as we can. You can always utilize, everything at a different time. It doesn't have to be like, you go each day by each day. You can always do maybe start on the second page and push it to the front. That's honestly just one thing that I love is because it's going to help people stay consistent. And I know that for people, it's usually the confidence and the consistency where they have the issue when it comes to social media. And I'm going to scroll out for a second because this is just a really good happening this morning. So I consistently add people on social media. I've been doing it for a while. I slowed down a little bit like the last 2 months because I was just kind of, here's the thing, okay, that I want everyone to understand about everything that we do on social media and everything that I train or you hear from other people. Take what works and run with it. Don't worry about anything else. Like even if I talk about something and you're like, you know what, that doesn't really work for me, run with what works for you, okay? And so one thing that I added to my DMOs back when we were doing a very small training group with Jessica was adding new friends to my network. And I do it pretty consistently, but I got real intentional about who I was adding. I started going to their page, checking them out, seeing if we jive, like if I go to their page and their last post was super negative, I'm probably not going to add them because I'm not really a negative person when it comes to things like that. So I add, and back when I was adding, I was just free for all adding, right? Like I was just saying. And when I got intentional, I started sending connection messages and actually trying to have a conversation because like Fraser Brooks says, conversations before commissions. So I wanted to build conversations with these people. Not too long though, because nobody got time for that. But I had this girl yesterday after I went live, because our task from last week, so if you weren't here, or maybe you chickened out on me, but our task from last week was to go live about what you do. And honestly, Lavelle dropping the double triple was a huge opportunity for you to go live and just say, hey, here's what we have to offer. Here's what's going on right now. I absolutely loved the way that Jess worded it. I stole it and was like, that's perfect because it made so much sense on all the free things they're getting. Even if you're not giving back commission or anything like that, like just do something where you're telling people what it is that you do and what it is you have to offer. Because I literally just added this girl 2 days ago. I wish I could like look up, maybe it was like 3 or 4. But she watched my live yesterday and immediately came into my messenger. And it was like, I wish they'd all go this easy. She said, okay, what do I start with? That was her question. And I was like, I was kind of freaked out. I was like, wow, oh my gosh, what drew you in? I asked her like, well, what made you want to ask me what to start with? She's like, I just watched your live. You were talking about samples and I'm pretty, like I said on my live, like, 4 days is only going to show you an experience, not the whole shabam. So anyway, she's going to go in and order for her and her husband, a couples pack, which was exciting to me because someone I barely even know, but I connected with her in Messenger. I have to put it in my mouth. I don't know why it always happens to me. I connected with her in Messenger, and then I was showing up on my page and going live and talking about what it is that I do. I think sometimes so many of us are so scared to talk about what we do on social media, or what we have to offer. Like I watch Mandy, that's a perfect example. Oh, you're here, Mandy. She goes live. I mean, especially now that she's rocking and rolling, her PPA is like at almost a 30, but every time she goes live, she's talking about Thrive and about the opportunity or about a product, and she's not scared to talk about it, which is, I'm sure, making more people ask more questions. Because I always joke too, like Lindsay Coggin says, closed mouths don't get fed. If people don't know what it is that you have to offer, how are they going to come ask you about it? How are they going to know it's something that they need? How are they going to know, like, you know, I have so many people who tell me when I talk to them about Thrive, well, I'm not looking for fat loss or weight loss product. Well, perfect, because we're not a weight loss product unless you want to do duo burn and add heat and all that kind of stuff, right? We're actually a vitamin. So sometimes we just have to educate them a little bit more. And I know for me, I had to stop being like, when people would say stuff to me like that, like, I don't need Thrive, I would like go in my little corner and whine about it and cry about it. And then I realized taking personal responsibility for it, it's my fault. I haven't educated them enough on what Thrive can do. So all I have to do is keep dripping on them, keep educating them on how Thrive is good for more than just fat loss, more than just this. It's mood, it's appetite, it's gut health, it's all these different things, right? So that was just a fun little win because the lady messaged me back. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and add that on your DMO every single day, is go in and intentionally add people. So even if it's while you're, you know, on break for 5 minutes at work, look through their page though. Like if it's somebody you probably wouldn't talk to in real life, don't add them and assume that they're going to like join your business right then and there. There are so many people. I think there's like 222 million people that log on Facebook every day. So the opportunity is huge to find new people. Yes, and it's on the IPA checklist every day. Some of the things, actually most of the things I'm going to talk about today are all on the IPA checklist. But I think sometimes too, a lot of these ones that come up, I sometimes just go past them. And then when I do them again and I realize, oh my gosh, that really works, I need to do more of that. That's when I'm like, okay, I want to get on and share with you guys. And so I was watching a little training actually from Fraser Brooks, and he was talking about, I got to scroll out because my notes are really long. Okay, I'm going to do one thing at a time, Sydney, one thing at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. He was talking about engaging with other people and how important that is. And I know for me, because sometimes I make my post and I'm a super busy mom, or sometimes I go live and then I just walk away from Facebook and I'm in Messenger messaging people, right? I talked about this probably a year ago, but it's something you can utilize every day. And it's very simple. That's why when I step away from doing it, sometimes I'm like, it's simple, Sid. It takes 10 minutes. Like, it's called the 3, 10, 15. So 3 times a day, you spend 10 minutes engaging with 15 people. 3, 10, 15. I actually switched it around because it was the 3, 15, 10, but I liked the 3, 10, 15 better. Guys, I'm just shooting for the stars there. So imagine 3 times a day, 30 minutes total, you would be engaging with 45 different people in simple ways, like loving on their posts, creating genuine comments. I try to, especially if I'm doing this 3, 10, 15, if I'm on my Facebook scroll, I don't scroll past a post without engaging with it. I don't even like people's posts. If I like your post, I'm probably mad at you, just so you know. I feel like it's the thumbs up, which is the other thumbs up. So I don't ever really do that. I love everything, or I comment a genuine comment, especially because if you have these people that you're adding to your network every single day, and they're coming on your latest post and saying, wow, Shar, you are so beautiful, and you haven't gone to their page and said something to them in a while, what makes you think they're going to just keep coming back and engaging with you? Why? What's the point? I think it's a give and take in social media. So I'm honestly the giver. I drip on people's page. I'll come over, love, like, comment, go up to your stories, engage with those, bump your last live. I do the whole shebang, especially if it's someone on my drip list. And Valerie asked the other day, what's a drip list? I'm just calling you out there. Basically what that is for me is people that I'm looking to join my business or get on my product. Sometimes it's even people who have a sample in their hands, but they're sleeping on it. So I go and I add them to my drip list because I'm like I have one right now. Her name is Madison. Madison, I see you. I know you saw my messages. I know you're logging on Facebook because you just post a picture of your baby. Have you tried the trial yet though? Like, I asked you like 14 times, but I'm not giving up on her because she hasn't said anything to me back yet. Like, she hasn't said no. She hasn't said yes either. So I just keep going, right? And I just keep dripping. And so if you spend 3 times a day, 10 minutes engaging with 15 people, And what I recommend, so for example, I really like to try to get a post up in the morning. I hit like a way different realm of people when I do that, especially for me, because sometimes I get into my work and before I know it, it's 2 o'clock and I forgot to do a reel, or I forgot to go do a live, or I had a really good, motivational Monday morning post, but now it's Wednesday afternoon. Like, well, screw that one up. If you do your engagement, the 3, 10, 15, and then you make your post, and then you spend a little bit of time after engaging well, I can almost guarantee that that post is going to have more success than if you were to just go on, post, and get off. And that's what a lot of us do sometimes because we're in a crunch. We're not taking enough time to go like, okay, actually intentionally think about what you're posting, what you're trying to do with it. Are you trying to motivate people? Are you trying to inspire, educate, provide value, engage? So what I've been doing more and more is I find I will engage a lot, then I'll make my post, and then I'll just engage for maybe like another 5 minutes with people, especially people who continuously love and like on my posts, even if they are thrivers. I always appreciate that, but especially people. And like, for example, I had this talk with Heidi a couple months ago, and she was like, what if I just need to slap the algorithm on my Facebook page? Like, what if I just need to switch things up? One way that you can do that, okay, and because I will tell you, there's a couple things that are a little bit different right now. And I'm just going to start with, maybe it's your page. Maybe you're looking for more people to engage with your posts. First thing I'm going to tell you or ask you is, are you engaging with other people's posts intentionally? Are you engaging with more than just who's here on this screen? Are you engaging with the new people that you add? Are you engaging with your drip list? Okay. And then the other thing, and this is what makes it super easy for me and what I like to do, and that's why I put it in the batch content, is engaging posts, okay? I actually really didn't even mean for this to turn out the way it did. But the other day when I posted my toxic trait is sometimes I throw away Tupperware because I don't want to wash it. I was just sharing that people messaged me up the wazoo about that. Like, and they were like really concerned. Do you throw away glass ones? But what about those ones that are microwavable? Do you throw those away? So do you just buy new Tupperware? One lady even messaged me and said I was polluting, but I was like, I could be wasting water and washing it. So am I polluting or wasting water? Which one is it? But it creates a different sense of engagement on your page when you do a fun question like that, or a fun, some type of engagement post. I gave you guys a bunch of them in the batch content, but if you need to really slap up your algorithm and say, okay, I need more people than just Team Hustle liking my stuff. I need like people, maybe people you've been dripping on, or maybe new people to check out your stuff. Because sometimes what happens, and I'll be honest, is when they see maybe salesy stuff, or Pamela, whatever the heck her name is, they could just stop looking at your stuff. Hopefully they don't unfollow you, because Lord knows it's hard to get back followed. But maybe they're just scrolling past and they're not paying any attention. So throw one of those tacos or burritos. Throw in one of those pancakes or waffles. I mean, I put in one day, Miracle Whip or mayo. I think we caused divorces in people's households, because there would be like a wife that said mayo and the husband would be like, Miracle Whip, ew. And then they would start arguing in my comments, which is all great. It's all great for us because we're just trying to create engagement to our page. And then what you have to remember is, yeah, Kelly, I was actually going to message you about that. I saw your little mini cake thing. I was like, that got a lot of comments just for like a little mini cake. And you think about it too, when you go and you do these, and I get on Haas about this all the time, so he'll probably tell you, I'm not lying. When you do a post like this, okay, for me, and especially if your goal is engagement, it's so important to go back and actually talk to the people. So I go back and, for example, on my Tupperware post, I'm just going to start at the bottom because it's still going since yesterday. The first girl is this girl, Lindsay, who is actually on my drip list. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reply, even if it's a heart or something. So it tags up her name and we reply. And I go back to each single person, especially if they're people who are on my drip list, especially if they're people who have a trial, especially if maybe they're just someone I'm looking at and I'm like, oh, who the hell is that? I don't know who that is, but let me check her out. Maybe I added her and forgot to connect with her because we've been doing this for so long. So when you do those engaging posts, don't forget to go back and engage with those other people. And that's where too, maybe when I said drip list earlier, you're like, oh, I don't have one. this is where you can create one. Go do a taco or burrito post. And the first 10 people who post on there, maybe those people are going to become your drip list people. Maybe those are the people that are watching. Y'all, I can't tell you how many times I see people scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through TikTok even, and they don't like anything. Or they'll like show me a post and they're like, oh, I really love this post, I want to show it to you. But they didn't even like it. And I'm like, but you didn't even like it. So it's not like something for us to take personal. It's just what happens. It's human nature for people sometimes. They're just scrolling along. I've done it before too, where I'm like in the zone, not paying any attention. I'm just scrolling. Oh, that's a good idea. Cool. Awesome. And then I'm like, oh crap. What was that post? I forgot to even comment so that I could go back to it. So when people actually take the time to engage with your stuff, especially comment, like I had one girl who told me her life story about the Tupperware, even her kids' clothes. I took the time to go to her page, engage with her. She went right top to my drip list. And I was like, okay, because she's clearly engaging with my stuff, doing genuine comments, something more than just, yeah, that's cool. But that's another way that if you're having issues with your post now, like you're posting, and I mean, there's a couple different things you want to think about when you're doing this, okay? Number one, if you're making posts and they are just graphics from the company, like if you took the double, triple post and you just posted it on your page and you didn't get any likes, I'm going to tell you right now, it's because you use a graphic from the company. I would much prefer you, that doesn't sound right, but whatever. I would prefer if you would take a picture of yourself, hold your hand out and put the double, triple graphic on your hand, or just use a picture of you and then use the double, triple, all that kind of talk in the caption, or go live and talk about what the double, triple is. But what happens is people just scroll past that Pamela stuff. They're like, bye. I don't even want to see it. Somebody's selling something. It's just like an ad, right? Like whenever I see an ad from somewhere, I just keep scrolling, even if it's something I want. I'm like, not right now, just keep scrolling. And then the other thing could basically be, or potentially be, that you are posting a lot of spammy stuff. So you just need to go back to taking yourself out of your body for a second, back into your pre-network marketing self. What would attract me? What would make me say something? Which sandwich is superior, peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese? You'll have so many people that comment on that. And then that's your opportunity when you boost your engagement back up to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. That's why too, on one of the batch content things, I have motivational posts, and I'm going to try to do one every Monday with like a quote, just because I want people to have something else, obviously outside of Thrive and outside of Mom Sydney, that keeps them coming back to my page. And when people comment things on like, wow, I really needed this today, it also boosts my like little love tank where I'm like, oh yay, I'm so glad I could help that person. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like what you're doing is working, right? So if that's something you need to do to switch up your engagement, I highly recommend using an engagement post, something where people can have the opportunity to kind of like bicker in the comments, if you will, just go back and forth, like healthy fun. It's always fun to watch those too. And another thing too is especially story views. If you're noticing your story views are down, this happened to me a couple weeks ago. And when I was writing about engagement on my page, I was thinking the same thing. Like sometimes in my stories, they'll go down, and on the weekends, they go up. Well, why do they go up on the weekends over like 100? Most likely because I'm doing something on the weekend that people want to be nosy about. Especially when I went traveled that like 2 weeks in a row, my story views were so high on the weekends. They were like almost tripled because people were just like, where's Sydney at? What's she doing? So sometimes if you're looking at your story views and you want them to be higher, stop posting graphics from the company. Post you taking your capsules, even if you're half awake. Post you making your shake, even if you're half awake. Maybe post something in there outside of just Thrive too, to get people back in it. I posted the other day in my stories about how I lost my dog, which is a true story. And I had so many people message me. They're like, that's the worst feeling ever. Did you find him? Again, just boosted up my story views. And then I also knew, because people were engaging with my story, who was watching my stories. And I think it was Rebecca, but somebody just got like a really good prospect from the Story Peaker script. Hey, are you checking out? Thanks for checking out my stories. Are you a cheerleader or are you interested in Thrive? You're not gonna be able to send that script to anybody though, if you're not consistently posting in your stories. Or if you're posting and it's like all of us. You don't want all of us in your stories. Even though I want to be there for you. Good job, Rebecca. I want to be there for you, but don't be offended if you don't see me in your stories all the time, because I want you to find other people to be watching your stories. So sometimes you got to switch it up in your stories too. Switch it up in your stories and do something exciting that's going to make people be like, oh, wow, I want to know what that's about. Or I want to follow more. I want to see if she finds her dog, whatever it might be. So if you find that you need to switch it up in your stories too, that's a perfect way to do it. A perfect way to do it. And what I would recommend is also when you're in your stories, engaging with other people's stories, taking 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if that's all you have, and engaging with other people's stories. Because I promise you guys, we talked about this a little bit at SEAL training, the same people who like most of my posts, it's like a 60-40, but the people who like my posts and my stuff on Facebook are way different than the people who are watching my stories, which is super weird to me. It's like some people just get on there and they only watch stories. And some people get on there and they just scroll. It's like Instagram. Some people get on there and they watch reels. Some people get on there. I don't even look at posts on Instagram anymore, which is weird, but I just realized that I don't really look at posts anymore. I just get on there for reels because that's, I don't know, what's entertaining to me. And I watch people's stories on Instagram too, actually. So that's a really good way that you can boost up some of your stuff. I'm going to share a reel with you guys, but I want to talk about a couple of things when it comes to the reels. I had a lot of notes for today. Who did I think I was? I want to share a reel with you guys today, a sound for you to use, but a couple things that I want to talk about when it comes to the reels. Okay. And number one, I just want to say it just tickles my little mommy heart when I see all of you guys doing reels that are way outside of your comfort zone, things that you thought about on your own. Roanna, I don't know if she's here, but she does some pretty cool ones too. I just love it because I see so many people breaking past that not confidence wall, breaking past that, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to have messy action because it's action. It's better than nothing. It's going to get me to where I want to go. Because again, like you feel overwhelmed, you feel lost, you feel stuck, take action. Doesn't matter if it's messy or clean, take action. It will make you feel better every single time. So one of the things, well, just a couple things I wanted to talk about. Number one is video quality. So when you're doing these reels, try to be somewhere where the video quality is a little bit better. It will affect you. Like if you're in a dark room and you're doing, and we can barely see your face, it's just like Facebook Live's analytics. Like it'll affect you differently if they can barely see you. Because literally, I think it's maybe the first 3 seconds is what you have to grab people on reels. And so if I come to your reel and I can barely see you, boom, I'm gone. Or if I come to your reel and it's blurry, and there's plenty of ways to do these, use the natural lighting in your house, grab a ring light, go to the bathroom where it's brighter, right? The other thing is the words, okay? The reel that I'm going to give you today is going to have words in it. But if you've ever noticed, like I even type out the words that I'm saying, because a weird statistic that I found this morning, 90% of videos watched on social media are muted. I'm not sure why, but I realized I do that too. I'm on Instagram and it's like usually muted. Even when I'm on TikTok, it's muted most of the time. I'm just reading. Like I'm a captions person though, so maybe that's what it is. Or maybe you're busy, you're at work, or maybe, the kid's sleeping next to you, so it's muted. So the more words you can put on it, the better off you're going to be. You're going to have more people watching it. Because think about if I'm at work and it's muted and you don't have any words up, I'm just scrolling by because I can't listen to what it is, right? Or if you've got it, like you ever see those people that have it up to their ear like this and then they're looking, that doesn't really work. So then the other thing is call to action. Have you been using a call to action in your reels? Even if it's follow me, click here to follow me, click here, let's be friends. Start using a call to action as much as you can in your reels. And you're going to start seeing more people, because a lot of people I hear like, oh, I get views, but I don't really have anybody following me from them yet. Are you asking them to? Have you been saying, hey, follow me for more info? Click here to be friends. I really love the ones, and I meant to give this to the girls in the mastermind, but maybe we'll do this after, is there was one that was like introduced and it was pretty trendy for a while. And then every mom was putting like, click here if you're a mom, follow me for more mom, to be friends with me and mom group or whatever. The girls I saw blowing those posts up were incredible. I was following half of them because I was just like, oh, follow you. Okay. That's how our society is. Call to action, follow you. Okay. And the other thing is, if you are looking at these and you're going to yourself like, okay, are these working for me? How can I find this out? And this is why I am like anal. I just want to also let you guys know that I linked my Instagram and Facebook stories today. Okay. If you were at SEAL training, I linked it. Just so you know. Okay. What you can do is you can go to your page. Okay. Your regular Facebook page. Sounds like Zane doesn't want to go to school today. Too bad. You're going to go to your profile like you were looking at it from the outside in. When you click insights, it's not going to give you a ton of insights on Reels right now, but you could even just look at accounts reached and check out like where it's going. So for me, mine is in the last 14 days. Okay. You can switch this up. If you have it up on your screen, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if it's last 14 days or last 17 days, accounts reached through Reels, 6,540. So something I'm doing is working, right? And then you can also check in there if your followers are up and all that kind of stuff. But that's a great way to measure out what you're doing on Reels. If it's working for you, if you need to change something up, if you need to plan, do a review, maybe if you need to be a little bit more consistent, because I promise that's something that has to do with it too. If you're just posting once a week on there and you're not getting very much, that could be it, right? And don't forget, you can always take everything you do on Facebook and put it on Instagram, your regular posts, your stories, all that stuff. So the latest reel that I just did is me just like slapping things. And you can take, it's going to be 4, you're going to grab the sound, obviously. The sound's on the bottom and it says like kid camp. Save it to your audio. Can use the audio. What I would do is like just maybe send myself to yourself. You know, if you click that little airplane, you can just send it to yourself or your accountability partner. And that's going to be our reel for the week that we're going to use as a team. What I did on there was more energy, better mood, gut health, no diet necessary, thrive. You want to switch it up, you can, but if you're maybe thinking to yourself, I don't even know where to start, I don't want to be overwhelmed, just take exactly what we do and make it work with that. The other thing JoJo was asking, just while we're on here, is she was asking about the words. So when you're in a reel and you're editing the reel, and let's say, for example, you're trying to put the words on, in the top right corner, bye. The top, why is mine not working? Sorry, hold on. He doesn't sound like a happy camper this morning. I wish they made kids thrive. So in the top right corner, after you have your video up, this is me shaking it up in the morning, there's going to be a big A and a small a. And when you click that, that's how you bring up text. Okay. And I just typed something there. It doesn't even make sense. But when you bring up the text, in the bottom, that little black bubble, that's how you're going to take off and on the duration. Okay. So that's how you're going to see it come on and off the screen. And you're going to pull it from left to right. Left is obviously, or right is obviously the end. Left is the beginning. And that's how it will like bounce in and off the screen. But JoJo, I hope that answered your question. Okay, so the one that we have up is the latest one. I'm in a blue shirt. The sound is like dink, dink, dink. Yes. Okay. So again, if you're super creative, because I know like Kristen's mega creative, and when it comes to this aspect, you can take something and make it different if you want to, but if it seems overwhelming to you, just start there. But even if you're not ready today, and maybe you're busy and you're super busy today, get it up like first thing tomorrow. Don't wait until next Wednesday when I launch the next one for you to be like, oh, well, this didn't work, or I really needed help with this. Please use the chat as an open forum when it comes to the social media stuff so that we can all learn together. And maybe say something like, hey, I don't get this part of it. But if you're sitting here going, I don't get any of it, I need to direct you back to the YouTube channel where I have a video, it's Reels for Beginners, and you can start right there at that YouTube video. I think it's like 40 minutes, but it's the first training we did on basic Reels training. And as we go along further, just again, start showing up messy action so that you're at least getting your feet wet and you're not like every week feeling like you're more and more behind. Okay. Awesome. Oh, you guys are so welcome. I love doing this. It's super fun to me. Awesome. Awesome. And again, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I would love that. Ooh, I got to take a picture of you guys really quick. Hang on, don't leave yet. Sorry if Jess has a meeting on here. We gotta hurry. My empty water bottle out of the way. My desk is a mess, y'all. It's on my goals today. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And I'll share it with you guys. Thank you, y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye.